Hi Scorpio, and thanks for tuning in. This is your reading for October 2019. Join me here while I shuffle and check in with your higher self. Ask your higher self to connect with my higher self so that we can create a feedback loop to make sure that the messages that come through here for your reading are tailored especially for you. If you take a moment to set up that dialogue, you'll find that this is very much a personal reading for you. You'll be contributing your energy and therefore part of the reading. So take a moment here and just set that up. Tune in with your breathing as well and settle into a comfortable posture. Grab some headphones and a cup of tea. Please don't multitask while you're watching this reading. I want to make sure that you get the most out of your time here with me and you're not distracted by external activities. So let's take a look at the energies available for Scorpio during the month of October. Two kings at the heart of your reading. Six of Wands, Six of Swords. Already it's a very interesting dynamics playing out. Two threes on the diagonal axis. And then we have Lovers and Chariot on the other diagonal axis. That's 6 and 7 from the Major Arcana. And they're both in reverse. And then we also have 8 from the Major Arcana. Strength in the position of recent past. Justice in reverse with the Three of Swords in reverse. Judgment in reverse with the Lovers reversed. Interesting spread. And 9 of Swords here as well as a 9 of Wands in reverse in the outcome position. Okay, Scorpio, let's get into it. At the bottom of the deck we have the Sun. So, where shall I begin? It's a really interesting kind of paradoxical energy in reading. And I must say that for a lot of the readings that I've already performed for this month, there has been this really interesting energy of kind of a stark polarity between really uplifting and happy and positive energy, as well as some very difficult strife, tension and challenging aspects as well. So I feel that that's a collective theme that's going on in the energy that everyone is under the thumb of, kind of. But what I would say here about your spread is that I feel that you are definitely transitioning. Like there's energy of change in your reading. There's energy that shows here that you are moving forward with a kind of confidence and a kind of, I'm hearing preparedness. So perhaps in recent months, maybe last month or for the last couple of months, you may have been preparing to make some changes in your life, some transitions as far as maybe you might have known that you would like to start to travel or go traveling, or that you would maybe looking to resign from your job and change your work to something else. You may have been aware that you wanted to break up with your partner and or maybe move house. So I feel that there's this energy here of you having been kind of quietly preparing for some major changes in your life. And I think that it's around about this time that we're going to see those changes taking place, if not just recently, but now we're seeing that there are some consequences and some effects as a result of transitions and changes that have been made. And as I described at the beginning of the reading, there is this energy of polarity of like black and white, right and wrong, you know, good and bad. But the way I'm translating it for you in this reading is that there isn't actually good and bad. It's not about positive and negative. It's just about consequences, and it's about transitional energy that has an effect. Simply, there is an effect of causes. So what you may have created shifts in has now kind of, there is a sort of ripple effect where the changes that you made now are having physical results in the world. So, but overall, like the general energy, being that the Six of Wands is the crowning card of your reading, and Sun was the card at the bottom of the deck, these two cards are telling me that you feel really good about the changes that you've made, and you're dealing with the consequences very well. You're feeling very confident. You're feeling very happy. You may also be feeling really empowered by the decisions that you've made to make changes. You have the strength here in the position of recent past. So that's telling me that you may have been under some difficult circumstances, and you may have been persevering through some trying or challenging aspects in the last couple of months, knowing that you needed to and wanted to make some changes and move into this transitional space that you're in now. And that required quite a lot of willpower and patience and strength and courage to be able to kind of almost tame your impulses to kind of want to make changes radically and drastically, and then use that energy to kind of be really strategic and thoughtful about where you placed your energy and how and at what time you decided to like communicate certain things that would then generate the transitions and the changes that you've wanted. So kudos to you, because that's a very mature activity. That's very thoughtful and discerning way to go about making changes in life, is to kind of really be thoughtful about the timing and be really deliberate about how you make transitions in life. So that's showing a lot of emotional maturity in you, and also a lot of discipline. Now, for some of you, you might still be in the midst of some of these transitions. Like for some of you, you might still actually be in a job that you're not really happy in with this Nine of Swords. Some of you might be looking to get kind of a liberation from an unhappy work environment. Some of you might actually be looking to... I could be seeing this Nine of Swords, rather than looking like a kind of restrictive energy. This could be saying that you might be looking to actually commit to a project that you're really interested in, especially one that has a collaborative element to it, where you might be looking to activate a specific type of group work environment where this is a really specific message. I feel for some of you there is some kind of collaboration available to you where you may get to work with some real masters, or for some of you, you may get to work with your hero or someone that you've been watching and respecting and appreciating for a long time. That's a really specific message for someone. I feel that you may be moving into a time here where you have been working towards manifesting your goal, which is to be mentored by someone that you really respect and look up to. And for that person, this is happening around this time. Now, these two kings at the heart of the reading are really interesting. King of Wands in reverse and King of Swords as the crossing card. I read the crossing card as either upright or reversed as well. So in this reading, both of these cards are reversed. So two kings here. So for some of you, there may be some of you who are in a kind of dynamic with another person where you're really butting heads, and there could be some tension and the inability to see eye to eye on some specific things. And that could be, as I said, like this is a general reading. So for some people, you may have invoked these transitions some time ago, and you've already activated that energy and moved towards the changes that you want to make. For some of you, this energy is happening right now, and the changes that you want to invoke are still being formulated by you. So for some of you, if you are in this a dynamic with another person where you're finding it hard to see eye to eye, and there's some tension or stress or argumentativeness, or butting of heads or debating or something like that, that could be partly why you want to make some changes here, is that there's a need to catalyze your environment so that you're not constantly feeling dissonant energy with another individual that you may have to work with in close proximity, whether it's your partner, your romantic partner, or a work colleague or a boss or something along those lines. A roommate also. For some of you, this could be someone that you live with that you may not want to share space with anymore, so you might be looking to make movement and changes into a new environment. Now, here we have the Lovers reversed with Judgment reversed. So for some people, that energy that I described there of dissonance and maybe some challenging kind of a dynamic with someone where you're butting heads and you're not seeing eye to eye. If it is this could apply to that same dynamic. It doesn't have to be a romantic partnership just because it says the Lovers here. The Lovers card refers to any kind of partnership, but also your relationship with yourself. So it's kind of saying here, it's a little bit telling. It's kind of saying that maybe for some of you, if you are having these kind of externalized friction-filled dynamics with people, this could be a reflection of how you are actually relating to yourself around this time. And seeing this card paired together with Judgment in reverse is telling me that there's a real need here for you to actually go within and observe and witness your own personal process of how you internalize your thoughts and ideas? Like what's that? What is the process that you work with, and how is it really serving you? Like, do you need to address certain kind of internal dialogues or processes that actually are not serving you well, in the sense that there is like an internal friction or internal confusion or an internal polarity or dialogue that is kind of confusing or contradictory? Okay, so if you're experiencing those kinds of dynamics in your relationships in the external world, it may be partly to do with the need for you to address certain kinds of internal processes and dialogues that need to get a makeover. You know, there's the Judgment card is about revealing truth. It's about a rebirth. It can be also about like being initiated, and that means, you know, going through kind of a challenging period in order to come out with new skills and talents. So address any of that if that's touching a point for you there. Now, in the hopes and fears, we have this Three of Swords with Judgment. Again, each quadrant of this reading kind of relates to the same thing, and that has a lot to do with this energy of these two archetypal people that are very headstrong and may not be seeing eye to eye. And as I said, it could be a reflection of your relationship with yourself. But here, this Three of Swords and the Justice cards, both in reverse, it could be relating to this dynamic where there could be some heartache and some pain and some disappointment. There could also be some harsh words here. There could be a feeling that there's some injustice in this relationship, or in a certain environment that you're in where there is this kind of play happening, this tension playing out. And, you know, seeing both Justice and Judgment coming out in this reading in reverse, along with Chariot in reverse and Lovers in reverse. I mean, there could be something here about, you know, either there is a circumstance playing out here that's unfair, and it may or may not have an actual legal, legal, what's the word? Effect or consequence. But it could also just be speaking to how you may be feeling about this. It might be that you feel like a victim of a circumstance, or you may feel like you've been taken advantage of by a strong-willed person, something along those lines. I'll come back around to that in a second, because I feel like there's not much more to say about that. But just as here in the outcome position, you have this Chariot reverse with the Ace of Cups reverse. So once again, these two cards could be speaking about the dynamic with this person, just as these two cards, the Justice reverse, Three of Swords reverse, can be talking about this dynamic. Each of the quadrants could be talking about this dynamic. What this is telling me is that there is a loss of hope, or a loss of willingness, or a loss of compassion to deal with a certain type of energy around a specific person or a circumstance, a situation. You may have lost your motivation or your will to kind of keep pursuing and persevering in a situation that has felt challenging and has felt maybe unfair or confusing or stressful. You may have, up until a certain point, until maybe recently or around this time now, where you really felt like there was a point to the drama. There might have been a point to the stress. There might have been a point to, you know, the dissonant energy. You might have felt like it was still worth it for you to try to solve the riddle or keep giving energy to a situation to try to heal it and resolve it and, you know, nurture it, whether it's a person or a relationship or a situation. And I feel that maybe around this time you may have come to the conclusion that it's not really worth it for you anymore to keep putting energy into that situation or into that environment, because it may be an endless pit of giving. That's what I feel with these external outcome cards. And so this Six of Wands upright with the Nine of Wands in reverse as outcome cards as well. These four cards here are kind of outcome and crowning cards, right? So these four cards are telling me that you may have decided clearly once and for all that you are not willing to keep persevering in a situation that is very exhausting and requires constant tending and determination to kind of persevere and work through in a way that's like has kind of no end in sight, if you will. And this Six of Wands upright is telling me that you may have, with this as well as with the Six of Swords in the foundation of the reading, in the unconscious, this axis here is saying that you may have decided actively to remove yourself from difficult situation and walk away with your kind of head held high, feeling confident, feeling secure and stable and grounded in knowing that you've done the right decision for you. And I respect that. Because Nine of Wands continually, like for me, I had this card almost like for a whole 2 years straight, and it's fucking exhausting. And at a certain point, you have to decide that you're not going to persevere in difficult situations, but you're also not going to keep allowing yourself to feel beat down. You know, like it's up to each person to find their own will center and nurture it and feel confident and happy and motivated in life. And if certain experiences of motivation, certain experiences or relationships feel like they only take, then the only obvious thing to do is to walk away in your own authority, with your own confidence and self-love, right? To take yourself into a different environment where you know you can be nurtured and feel safe and, you know, well, right? Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. As I said, the Sun is there, Two of Wands upright, Ten of Swords and Ace of Swords. There's also the Star card. I'm going to take that. So this kind of feels like basically what I just described. It's like you making the decision to pursue your own wellness, your own happiness, your own sense of purposefulness or what's right for you, your own success, right? Six of Wands and Sun going very well hand in hand here in this spread. And then this Two of Wands is saying this is about you making the decision to pursue that which is meaningful to you and not continue to try to understand a situation or a person or a complexity that is draining you and taking your energy, and for no point at all. Like, there is a reason sometimes for difficult circumstances. There is, you know, I wouldn't always say just walk away from every circumstance that is difficult, because that's weak, that's lazy, right? But sometimes, like in the way I'm feeling the energy of this situation here is that there has been a difficult circumstance for quite a while, and there has been maybe a difficult person that maybe has been manipulative or dishonest or narcissistic or something along those lines, and you may have been persevering, trying to understand your place in it and learn from it and try to grow and whatnot. But at a certain point, maybe you've come to realize that, like, this person is just toxic, and I don't need to keep persevering this. I'm ready to be done. So this is about you letting go, walking away from a situation that's not healthy for you, that's toxic for you, and feeling empowered to, you know, pursue the Star card energy, which is of healing, which is of like future thinking and innovation, like innovation of your own life in a way, like Sun and Star together. I really like that. An Ace of Swords in reverse here. I feel this is just a little nod from your guides to say, like, don't second guess what you already kind of felt like you understood intuitively about this circumstance, and maybe take the energy of the Sun and the Two of Wands here and the Six of Wands forward, and take your confidence and let your clarity about what you already know to be true allow you to make really discerning and informed decisions and move on from a circumstance that has been unhealthy for you for a while. And, you know, no regret, no remorse, no resentment, just like, okay, clear, I'm done, moving on, what's next, you know? So, just checking over here, that's feeling a little bit like the general reading is done. I'm just going to check if there's anything that I have missed. With there being two kings here at the heart of the reading, we could be talking about a same-sex marriage. We could be talking about, as I said, a business partnership. We could be talking about, roommates or peers, or any kind of relationship, any kind of partnership. But I just thought I'd mention that in case some of you might be wondering, like, is this about me or not? So like, just you know, if this reading is not for you, then don't try to make it fit. But if you just need a little nudge there to know like who these people are, it's like, think about it in different ways. And yeah, during the reading I was talking about how there's this option here for someone who may have been wanting to work with someone that is their hero or their idol, or someone that they've wanted to be mentored by. I'm also going to make the interpretation here that now this could be the opposite, where one of these kings here in the situation is this person that you have been working with or collaborating with, or someone who might be a boss or a work colleague, and you may have felt completely disempowered by this person, taken advantage of, manipulated by, lied to, held in a way where you're unable to like evolve in your job position, in your role, or in your ability to see a future in the work that you're doing or in the business that you're working in. So now I'm giving this a different interpretation, where it's the opposite of what I said before, where this could be about you feeling really stuck and inhibited in your work by an individual who has maybe a status position above you in some way. So if you're deciding to move on here, I support that. I feel like this reading is very much giving that kind of energy here from your guides to say, like, if you're in this position right now where you're thinking about making transitions and changes, this reading is clearly saying, don't doubt what you have already decided to do. Fully pursue a transition and movement into some different areas, into different workplace or a different environment or different business or a new business or your own business or a different collaborative partnership, a different partner, a different boyfriend, different girlfriend, different roommate, whatever changes you feel like you need to make. I feel that this reading is giving you positive affirmation towards that, which you may have already decided but have maybe been second guessing or on the fence about. Because the star here as the final card in this reading, and with the sun as well, these are both saying like, yes, green light, yes, yes. There's a lot of healing available to you. I feel like it's simply about you pursuing that which you already know to be true, and channeling your confidence and self-love into really doing what's right for you, what you feel is like true and genuine, authentic for you, for your path, for your direction, for your healing, for your nurturing, you know, like overcoming any self-doubt or overcoming any kind of like diminishment of your will, whether as a result of you know, other people's like attitudes or energy or communication towards you, or because of your own, you know, lack of self-confidence or some, you know, self-doubt that may have been preventing you from making changes. But this spread here is, like I said, there's a polarity in the reading. There's definitely some difficult energies, but overall I feel like the main focus of the guidance from your higher self is to say, follow your bliss. Go in the direction of what you feel is right for you, and leave behind toxic people or toxic environments or toxic situations. And trust that you are moving in the direction towards that which is really for you in areas where you will then be able to kind of create situations that will be more nurturing for your creativity or for your, you know, abundance or health or wellness or whatever it is that you want to, you know, create more of in your life. Okay. So that's it for the general reading. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again to give your higher octave reading. Using the same spread, the higher octave reading is designed to give a little bit more insight into what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level. Will hopefully help describe any forces that may be at play that we cannot see. Hopefully it can help reveal any blind spots that we might have to help us understand why we're in the circumstances we're in and how we can best work with the energies to make the most out of the opportunities that are at play. So again, tune in with me while I shuffle. Send your energy into the deck. Bring all your presence, and let's take a look at the higher octave spread. Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Seven of Wands reversed, crossed by two of wands. That's the two of wands there. 7 of worlds, 7 of pentacles, 5 of crystals, that's the 5 of swords, priestess, ace of pentacles, 10 of wands, sage of cups reversed, 2 of worlds reversed, balance reversed. That's the justice card again, which we had in the previous spread in hopes and fears. It was also in reverse there, with 3 of cups reversed, page of pentacles reversed, empress reversed, and woman of crystals reversed. So what I feel from this spread, I'm just double checking to see what the other cards were below before. What I feel from this spread is that I feel this like the previous spread felt very confident, you know, being that it was crowned by that 6 of wands and there was the sun card in the reading as well. And this movement, you know, this kind of, I felt like this clear-mindedness from you where you know, you could see your circumstances for what they were, what they are, and make distinct decisions and act upon those decisions for your betterment, right? Here I'm feeling like it's that energy is still here, but there's like this slightest amount of doubt. Although in the spread, I might also add, I don't really feel like a lot of people, whereas in the previous spread, I definitely felt there was a lot of archetypal energies being described that maybe, you know, talking about specific people that are in your field, in your context, that are causing these kind of frictions and stuff like that. Here I feel like it's more about your own energy towards that which you know to be what's right for you, like right action. The priestess is here in the recent past. This is telling me that you have some knowledge and clarity from your like your inner wisdom. Your inner wisdom has already been active and loud and spoken to you in a way that is, you know, undoubtable. Like you kind of already know what you need to do or what you want to do. And it's coming through the central axis of the reading out here to the Ace of Pentacles, which is telling me that you have already created in your psychic space and in your physical space, in your emotional space, the possibility or the potential for a new beginning in the physical world. And being that it's here in the outcome, that's very hopeful and very giving a lot of energy towards the likeliness of it. There's also here the 10 of Wands with the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is telling me that you are driven towards your own growth. But seeing the Queen of Swords, this woman of crystals is the Queen of Swords, and she's in reverse here. So Queen of Swords and Priestess have kind of a similar energy, right? There's that kind of wise, a little bit aloof, kind of a little bit cold energy from that archetype. But seeing the Queen of Swords here in reverse in this position, which is describing where you're at right now, like what your energy is right now, this is telling me that, again, that's that kind of like that slight hesitation energy where you may be just holding back a little bit, even though you know you want to grow, you want to move forward, and you want to make some changes in your life towards like an accelerated growth path. There may be a slight tinge here of you feeling a little bit like holding back because you're uncertain. There's a little bit of inertia. That's what I'm trying to describe. There's some inertia in this reading. You have also the Empress in reverse here with the Sage of Cups. So there's this energy of like the mind element, like air element, swords, crystals, showing up here in your reading quite strongly. But there's also this very earthy and watery energy coming through too, which is like emotional but also like physical. There's like something here about your physical abundance and your emotional body being kind of maybe something there a little bit out of sorts. And again, like in the previous reading, you had that Six of Swords, which was very much a nod to your confidence at this time and how you feel quite driven towards making some changes. Here it's like the other side of the coin. It's kind of describing that maybe you don't have a lot, like the utter confidence and the certainty to actually just take action on the things that you think and feel right now. But like, as I said, Ace of Worlds in the outcome position, Seven of Worlds in the crowning card position of this reading. So Six of Swords in the previous reading. This is Seven of Pentacles in the next reading, in the upright. This card is called Breakthrough in this deck. So this is telling me that there, even though there is that slight inertia and there is a little bit of like a holding back, a slight resistance or a slight uncertainty, there may even be some like slight, inner doubts or uncertainties within the mind with this Five of Swords in the foundation of the reading, Five of Crystals. There is like, I feel like the urgency or the urge to actually just pursue, like break through, make movement forward is actually stronger than that. So I'm not worried about you. I don't feel like you're gonna, not make the changes that you want to make, that you need to make at this time. I feel like you're going to be active in pursuing a better, better lifestyle, a better job, a better whatever it is that you want. I feel like you're in this stage here where you're looking to upgrade. It's an upgrading energy for sure. In this quadrant, hopes and fears, we have Two of Pentacles in reverse with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Like I said, there is a slight energy here of inertia, of a little bit of resistance, maybe some doubt or uncertainty, and that's what this is describing. But given that this is the hopes and fears, it's like you may be afraid of making the wrong decision, and that may be causing you to hesitate. But at the same time, there is this willfulness and this it's not brash in the way of like, the Knight of Swords is. It's not that kind of like arrogant kind of blazing forward. This is a very considerate energy, and it's good. It's not bad to have that resistance in a way. It's not bad to have that hesitation. It means that you're actually really just carefully considering all the options and all the like all the opportunities that you actually do have, and you're carefully crafting and cultivating your next step in a really, like I said, discerning and careful and thoughtful way. So I'm not seeing this as a negative energy at all. I think it's very, like it's good to take a moment to really carefully think over all your options and consider how and when and strategically moving your next move, okay? But seeing the Justice card come out in this reading again in reverse in the second time in the outcome position, and it's here with the Three of Cups in reverse, which in this deck is called Love. In the previous reading, you had this Ace of Cups here, which is also a love card. Three of Swords in the other quadrant in the previous reading. So I feel like there's something here, like for some of you, this could be a specific message for someone where there may be a circumstance here where somehow you are on the unfair end of the spectrum of something happening, and you may be in a difficult moment here where something's happening that may require you to, it's almost like you kind of take a loss in a way to kind of be able to, what I'm feeling actually is that you, if you are dealing with a narcissist or someone that has been manipulative or taking advantage of you in some way, I feel like what this is saying here is that you may be aware that you might have to take a loss in some way to be able to actually just get out of an unhealthy relationship. And that could be a financial loss, that could be an emotional loss, however it may be playing out for you. But I want to say here, like, don't let this person, if this person is kind of like gaslighting you or manipulating you and making you feel like you can't make a move, or you're not able, or you don't have the resources, or you know what I mean? Like, don't let that person convince you. Don't let that person convince you, because you're definitely going to be better off without if you make this move. Don't let them make you feel like you can't do life without them, or that you don't know how to do any, like, don't believe that. That's total lies and manipulation. And if you're in an unhealthy relationship with someone, but you may be feeling like some of what this resistance is that I was describing, I'm giving a different interpretation now. Some of the resistance and the uncertainty here may be as a result of you being gaslit by someone. If that's the case, like, seek the help of someone who can really assist you, and be really specifically careful about who you ask for help, because if you ask the wrong person, you might not get the kind of mental and physical and emotional support that's really needed here. So be very discerning about that. And definitely take care of number one. If you're feeling disempowered in a situation, get away from that relationship because it's toxic. Okay, that's what I feel like these two twos in reverse here is like you may be you may know clearly what you want and what's right and what's next for you, but you may have this uncertainty, and it may be as a result of someone manipulating you emotionally and maybe communicating things to you that are not really true but sound convincing because they're good with their words. Okay, so take that as it will, as it is for you, if that fits. At the bottom of the deck, we have Four of Wands. This is Six of Wands again. I like that. Six of Wands, as I've mentioned many times in this reading, we have as the crowning card position of the previous spread. Here it is showing up in your reading again. It's a slightly different interpretation in this deck. In the Voyager deck, this card is called Trust, whereas in the in the Rider-Waite deck or the Morgan Greer deck, it's more about confidence and victory and success. So it's, I mean, two sides of the same coin, you know. I'll talk more about it in a second. Here we have the Man of Cups and Woman of Worlds, Woman of Pentacles. So this is telling me that your guides are supporting you and guiding you towards that which you are aspiring. Whatever you feel inspired by or motivated towards, they're guiding you to say here, like, trust your intuition, trust your own motivations, trust what you feel passionate about, and go towards that. And from in that space, you'll find that you'll be able to generate healthier relationships. I just feel like in general, for someone specifically, like you're probably dealing here with a narcissist, and you really need to get away from that relationship. The one card I didn't talk about in this spread here, though, is this at the heart of the reading. In reverse, you have the Seven of Wands in reverse, and in this deck, it's called Courage. So I do feel that for some of you, there is an element here of like, and you had strength in the previous readings. This is a kind of similar energy. There is a need here for a lot of like to really channel your will and find your courage and your strength and your determination, and embody a place of trusting, even though your circumstances may feel a little challenging at this time, and you might be really jumping into the unknown by making this move, making a transition. But your guides are telling you here that this is definitely a move for the better, and you will find yourself in a much better place around much more healthy people, in more healthy relationships. So just move forward with dignity and grace. But again, if you feel like you need support, just be really thoughtful and careful about who you reach out to for help, because you know, if you go to the wrong person, it could take you in the direction that you don't want to go. So be really mindful about who you reach out to for help. Definitely go towards someone who's really emotionally mature and someone that you can trust, someone that will give you good advice, right? Don't go to people that just want to gossip. Go to people that actually care about you and will know how to advise you in a way that will nurture your development and your evolving, transforming person, right? So think about that carefully before you reach out to anyone. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, but I feel like that's it for your reading. It's a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I guess you guys needed that. Yeah, I feel like I've covered everything. Channel your courage and your trust and your wisdom and your intuition, and move forward into the new potential that you've already kind of begun to cultivate, and overcome any feelings of self-doubt or second guessing of decisions that you've actually already made. Start to move forward towards the goals that you've set, and you're going to make a breakthrough, and you're certainly going to land on your feet. So wishing you well, Scorpio, all the best in your transitional time here. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found some things in there you can work with, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading.